Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking another look here, of course, at Mana, helping understand what's going to happen next. We're going to take a look at some previous support and resistance levels and go ahead and obviously reestablish new ones based on Fibonacci retracement, kind of reiterate and reaffirm the importance of Fibonacci and how it works, right? So if you're new to the channel, just know I love teaching people to trade. I've been trading for over 17 years, and I truly do love every aspect of trading. So, the whole 9 yards, more so enjoy the teaching aspect of things. So that's why obviously I make these videos for my community members. Speaking of community, I want to give some highlights and some shout outs to a few members. Asosa80, fantastic job, 113% on a Solana long here recently. Well very well done. Andrew Lemberg, look at this here. Nice Mana long here from 71 cents to 78 for 191%, 20 long X. Great job. Sunny123, look at this guy's kicking some butt with render, 25%, as well as, of course, my tried and true Alexandru, very much a shining star and an admin, of course, of our wonderful community, doing some really awesome short trading here recently. So keep with the good work, guys. Really super proud of you, K71 as well, for a nice long gala there. Okay, so again, these are all things that you get with my trading community, and of course, I have signals as well that I send out for every single trade that I take. We took some decent profits on a short position here recently. We're all using Bitget as well too, so keep in mind you want to qualify for a $10,000 prize pool monthly just by default by being a member. All you got to do is use the link down below or send me your user ID. We can get you on and added there to effectively allow for you to benefit from that. ExpressVPN as well is another great resource. 3 months free for a 12-month plan. I recommend them, of course, if you're going to be using leverage in any regard, because you do need a VPN for most leveraged exchanges. Okay, so thanks Express and Bitget. Also, don't forget I have a recent affiliation with ByBit as well. They actually go through my signals through Cornix. So all that stuff's down below if you'd like to consider taking a look. So here's the thing with Mana. We want to kind of draw out some Fibonacci retracement lines, but we want to establish some things from the previous past year. Because again, the larger time frame helps us understand the stronger support and resistance levels, whereas shorter time frames give us more immediate turnarounds. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to draw out some fibs here really quick and kind of go from there. So we'll pull this guy over here. This is the most recent resistance there back in November. Okay, we're also going to go with the support range here as well, 0.786 there at 65 cents, and then one last one here, just kind of get perspective at the 1.272 mark, right there at 87 cents. So now that we've drawn those out, we can go ahead and remove the previous Fibonacci retracement levels. We'll draw out the new ones, of course, and to clarify, the easiest way to do it is the most recent high to the most recent low. So we go here from the most recent high to the most recent low, giving us that perspective of what's going to happen next. As you can see, these lines match up pretty well with these previous support and resistance levels. Okay, so that being said, in that sense, what does that mean for us? Well, that implies that this was a previous resistance level, tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 times, and it broke through. Therefore, should reaffirm itself as a support level. Okay, so resistance turns support. That's essentially how trading works in most cases. Most recent high turns into the most recent low. Okay, that being said, we are up over 70 on the RSI. We can see that retest that level, reiterating the fact that we should be above that key support range, reaffirming that support and that previous resistance. We take a look at the MACD, we can also see a potential convergence on the horizon. While this isn't 100%, the stronger likelihood of the price action continuing further from here because of that. Okay, so when the 12 intersects with the 26 in upward fashion, that's essentially exponential moving averages built into the MACD essentially. That tells us that we're going to see further upside. That's a really good swing trader's technique, is to use the MACD and the RSI. That's why I kind of gravitate more towards it, because it gives me a more long-term perspective, and I'm okay with holding trades longer because I'm using small position size and small leverage. Okay, again, everyone has different strategies, but generally speaking, it's recommended to the larger leverage you use, the lower position size you should be using, especially if it's cross-margin, because you can liquidate your account quite quickly, as some of you might know with the FTX issue from November. So enough about that. Let's take a look at the 4 hour here and kind of see what's going on. Based on TD sequential, if I saw correctly, we're looking at a 5. We've got potential of 20 more hours of upside, but I wouldn't expect it just to continue to shoot straight from here. I think it looks like we're probably at an overextension on the hourly, and we'll double check that, but I know Bitcoin has hit 2 nines in a row leading into right now. So a pullback would make sense before it bounced off that most recent high. Okay, so I covered that in my Bitcoin video earlier today. Check that out, of course. But on the RSI here, we can see we're kind of getting rejected tentatively there, but we also have a strong convergence of the MACD. So there's a lot of conflicting information on the 4 hour here, but it does indicatively tell us that we're not done running. We probably have another few more hours of upside, another 20 hours probably at the least. before the price pulls back. That's kind of just the expectation on the 4 hour. Again, the 4 hour time frame is a transitionary time frame from the 1 hour to the daily. It's telling us right now that we might see a little bit further continuation, but that tomorrow may be a red day. Okay, and I like to emphasize maybe, because tomorrow is first trading day for traditional markets. And that being said, when you have Mondays on profitable weekends, a lot of times profits can be taken, the price comes down. So these are just statistical probabilities, folks. That's all they are. More likelihood of upside or downside. That's what we're trying to figure out. So far, it does look like the daily wants to continue to run, 4 hour as well. But I'm speculating the hourly here needs to pull back a little bit. Let's take a quick look here. So take a look at this. Price comes back down to a 9 here previously. So we had 9 hours continuation to the downside. Comes up to reject off this level. Previously rejected off that level there at Fibonacci 0.618. That is about 72 cents. Price comes down to a 5. We get a reset up to a 9. Not enough consolidation here. The price legs up, gets greedy, pushes right through that strong resistance level. Short squeeze occurs, and the shorts are hedge their shorts with longs. Price continues higher. Now the price is overextended here. A lot of us get stuck in these positions while the profit makers, or the market makers, are taking their profits. Okay, so what should happen here, it would make sense for the price to continue to progress lower to somewhere in the 75-cent range. In fact, I'm going to probably take a look at this coin again here soon. I'm going to just give myself an indication around 75.5, kind of see what's going on, reevaluate, and just kind of maybe consider taking a long position at that point. And the reason why, too, in case you weren't familiar with this strategy, generally speaking, the most recent the most recent high, which we've established is kind of in this range here, right there at about the 74 to 75 cent mark. That should work as a new low. Okay, so hypothetically, the price shouldn't go much lower than that. Are there guarantees? No, of course not. But it is a statistical probability it's going to happen, right? That's a stronger likelihood, maybe 60-70% probability. So to me, if we're at we're overextended going into this period, and we're falling back down to a 2, that tells me we probably have about 7 to 11 more hours of continuation of the downside, and a likely consolidation effort here, and then the next leg up from there. Okay, that's ultimately what kind of trading I like to take part in. And I get the question, how many signals do I send a day? How often do I do that? Well, I do it based on demand, and obviously my indicators giving me the indication that it's a likely probability of success. Okay, so I'm not just going to jump in because that price hits that level and I get that target, that reminder. I'm going to reevaluate and make sure. But what I'm looking for at that time is an overextension of the downside. Hypothetically, we're at a 9 right here. We should and very well could take entry at that point, because that would be a decent long position. Because we've already established that the larger time frames are telling us it wants to continue to run. We broke through that key level resistance, establishing a new support. Why not buy the next dip, right? That's essentially the concept of what I like to try to apply in my swing trading strategy. It's not a definitive, X marks the spot, I'm just going to jump in because we get down there, but for the most part, that's what I'm looking for. And again, I gravitate more towards swing trading, and I think that it's a little bit more of an effective way for my trading style. So be sure that you learn how to become a better trader on your own accord. Obviously, attend my Trading Academy videos if you haven't already. But more important, find a good risk tolerance that works for you, because just because I like to be patient and wait for confirmation doesn't mean you have to as well. You'll get wrecked a few times, and you'll discover that it's probably not the best fit for you to continue to reset your account. But I've got 17 years of this, and I can tell you that I've reset my account plenty of times in the past. I haven't done so much at all, even in the relative recent past. But the reason why is because I learn from my mistakes, I write everything down, and I figure out what works best for me. Okay, so what works best for me isn't always going to work best for you. But I hope that what you learned here today is helpful, and it helps you make an informed decision. We'll cover mana again here soon. Thanks again for joining me here. I look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day.